Hello, I'm John Armato. I'm the Director of Community Relations for the Pottstown School District, and I'm here today with Beth Kramer at Franklin Elementary School. Beth is the principal. Beth, we're going to be talking today about a little bit of Franklin history and projecting out to 25 years from now.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit about the Franklin Time Capsule that we just opened up.
Well, the Franklin Time Capsule was put in the front of the building in 1979. It was really cool to see, I have to admit. I walked past that location numerous times over the 7 years that I've been here. And I noticed as the time got closer, because they had an opening in, it was so in 1979, an opening in 2000, and 2025 was on the horizon. And I walked past it, it kept getting closer, and I had a couple people inquire about it. And then as it got closer and closer, I went, oh my goodness, we need to get this planning done and take a look at what to do. So obviously Franklin and Pottstown has this incredible history. People at Franklin are very attached, and people in Pottstown are very attached to the community and really identifying the community. And so, you know, this is something that is very meaningful, not just for our students here, but our staff and our community as a whole.
You know, it was interesting. Earlier today, I was at the assembly that you had for students where you displayed some of the items that came out of the time capsule that we just opened up recently. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting to see the students and how they reacted to some things. Even more interesting for me to see some of the teachers going back and looking at class pictures and trying to pick themselves out.
Sure, there's many people at Franklin who work now at Franklin who have a connection to, their kids went to Franklin, they went to Franklin, they have this connectedness to people over time. So it was really neat to see that. It was cool for the kids to see, I think, as they get an opportunity to kind of, you know, think a little bit about what they saw today. We'll get some fun kids say the darndest things moments, but you know, there were a lot of things in there that they couldn't even identify, like cassette tapes and VHS tapes, things they weren't sure what they were saying, a TV guide. Excuse me, that made me laugh a lot because not many of them knew what that was at all. But there, again, is a lot of connectiveness to the community.
Right. So you're right. It was interesting to hear their guesses
Sure.
about what the cassettes were
Mm-hmm.
and what the VHS tapes were, because they're just not in our students' memory banks at all.
No.
So it gives rise to the question of, one, we talked about, is there even a cassette player that we could find right now to play those things? How hard would it be to find a VHS player? So in thinking about the next capsule that we're getting ready for, what are your thoughts about those types of items?
Well, first of all, I'm going to go digging in my parents' basement to see if I can come up with both of those things. And I may actually have a VHS player in my attic now that I'm thinking about it. But one of the considerations I thought about was, how do we put technology in there that will be able to be easily accessed in 25 years? Truthfully, I have no idea. You know, what is going to be meaningful right now? I'd say, you know, maybe a couple of years ago, I might have said we can put it on a flash drive. Now I'm saying that might not even be the best option. It might be something like, for right now, I'd look at a Google Drive and something, but will that be the format that people can use? So I'm going to have to consider that carefully. Maybe do some paper copies just to make that something that's immediately accessible to whoever opens it up. Mm-hmm. But I would like to do like a scan of, we did time capsule papers. Each kid in the school did a time capsule paper. And then we're going to look at what else is meaningful to them by doing a school favorite survey and include some of those things very similar to how people did, you know, in the past, those things that are really important and meaningful to them.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting about technology and all the great things that technology brings us? But in this particular case, probably the best things to use are hard copy pieces that you can see, touch, feel, don't need any special glasses for, don't need any special mechanisms to play for. I found that kind of interesting. One of the things that when you talk about the history of Pottstown and how things are connected, there's in opening the most recent time capsule, there was a shoe polish can from Kiwi Shoe Polish Company. Mm-hmm. And first, just getting kids to understand what shoe polish was, I thought was kind of interesting. And then our history, that here is a internationally recognized company, a brand that had its factory right here in Pottstown.
I thought that was pretty neat. To be completely fair, I didn't cheat at all. I thought about looking last week to give myself a little heads up, and I thought, what's the fun in that? I did take the things out this morning, so I get to now do a little research and digging and look through all those pieces today. So I did not cheat on the time capsule or get to see it.
That's interesting. So when it was opened now and you went through, that was
That was the first
it
time
for
I
you?
saw it. Yeah.
Oh, that does add something to
Yeah.
it.
So there was this, so I had to look twice at what that can was. I wasn't 100% sure at first. I wanted to double check what it was. But yeah, I now have some digging to do. Now, each of the principals has added, there's a file in the main office from the original to 2000 to now. So I'll add that piece to that. So the next principal coming along in 2025, whoever he or she may be, excuse me, will have an idea. That way they can plan. But it's not like they included copies or pictures of what it was. So just, they gave us an overview of some of those things in there, but I didn't see anything about the shoe polish. So
Wow.
I'm excited to see some of those.
That
Yeah.
is interesting. So besides the shoe polish, the cassettes, what other items got your attention a little bit?
I think that including the yearbook where people can go back, I saw a lot of people interestingly looking at student signatures. People signed off and they were looking for their family. They were looking for their family and friends. I thought that was more meaningful than I thought it would be. So to me, that's my original inclination. I'm so sorry.
I know you're battling a cold
Sorry
right
about
now,
that.
and you're being a trooper, and we appreciate it. So the signatures, that brings up a whole other world of what that's like now in 2025, seeing people actually sign their name to things and did cursive writing. And today looks like, it makes it feel like it's on its way out. Interesting for what it will be in 2050.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
I imagine some of the things will be typewritten. Our kids, we still had to do that paper, by hand. So they'll get to see what their signatures, what their interests look like in 2025. But I truly have no clue, and I think that's going to be the fun of it. Is we'll get to see what they come up with and how it looks different.
Well, we're in the art room now doing some of this interview. So I'm wondering if there could be art pieces, paintings, pictures, whatever, that would go in that new capsule.
Potentially, yes. One of the things that the art teacher is doing is she's actually creating a project of student work that will be on display that evening. When we do the time capsule rededication, which will be on May 13th, there will be a little almost selfie station, for lack of a better term, where people can take pictures that evening, made up of student work outside of this room along the wall. And there may be some art pieces or pictures of art pieces that go into the time capsule as well.
So you said May the 13th is when we're going to rededicate, and what time is that going to be?
That'll be at 5:30, doors open at 5, and anyone, obviously our current Franklin students, family, staff are welcome, people from 2000, anyone who has a connection, the building will be open. We will have refreshments, and that is our art and music night as well. So you'll get to see artwork from our students at present and our musical performance. And then I also will allow people to take kind of a tour around the building and check out some of the highlights of Franklin now. Our communication board, our Tranquility Garden on the side, things that may not have been there that people might have some interest in seeing.
Right. Tranquility Garden, which is a beautiful...
Tranquility Garden.
Yes. Tranquility Garden.
Right.
That is just an excellent addition to the building and speaks to the whole concept of social emotional learning.
Yes.
Very, very unique for us. So you've had opportunity, I know you've been contacted by some former teachers, some former administrators. As a matter of fact, I think one of our teachers today at the opening at the assembly was on her phone taking pictures, texting them to a former principal.
Wow, that's awesome. I expect that we're going to have some special guests that evening. Anyone who wants to come can certainly come. If they want to get in contact with me in advance, I'd love to have the opportunity to meet them and maybe, do a special welcome for them that evening. So anyone who's coming, who was here before, if they let me know, I'd love to include them in the programming, even if it's just a special recognition of their contribution to Franklin.
Well, in closing up, I'm trying to determine how best to articulate this. The next time that we will open the capsule will be 2050.
Yes.
So I'm not anticipating you still being the principal. You'll be retired, enjoying
I
life.
hope to be.
Okay? But we'll expect you
Yes.
back.
I
for
would love to come
2050.
back. If I am invited and they're doing an event, I would love to come back and see what Franklin looks like. This place, Franklin, is so meaningful to me. The students and staff and community here mean so very much to me. So I would love to come back and see what that looks like then, and see what Franklin looks like, our students, our families, and I'm sure the building, everything changes over time. And that's a good thing. It's how things are. So I hope to be able to come back and see what the Franklin family looks like in 2050.
That's great. And you know, Beth, you and your entire staff do a great job every single day of following our school district mission, preparing each student by name for success at every level. And as part of the assembly we did today, Mr. Rodriguez, our superintendent, was here giving growth awards, recognizing teachers and students who have grown both academically over the past marking period. So we certainly appreciate that, and I will say that all of you here at Franklin give us in Pottstown another reason to say, proud to be from Pottstown. So thank you very much, and we look forward to May 13th when we put together our new time capsule.
Thank you so much, Sean. I really appreciate that.